So what I want to do in this session is help you think about the difference between asynchronous learning and synchronous learning. Okay. So synchronous learning is exactly what it sounds like. We're all in sync. We're at the same place. We're doing the same thing. We're all in the room, either physical room as a classroom or the Zoom room virtually, and it's real time, and it's through video conferencing, live chatting, however you want to think about that. The other way we can think about learning is asynchronous learning, right? And this is where we're creating the learning experiences where students are working at those at their own pace or at their own time frames, um, and giving them different ways and time to absorb the content, and do different things with it. Um, no matter where we find ourselves this year, you and I will always be balancing synchronous learning and asynchronous learning, right? Does this student need more asynchronous activities, asynchronous tasks for him to get a hold of this? Or do we need to have some synchronous scenarios where he's learning either with me or with a group of his classmates and back and forth, right? And that balancing those two, I think, is really critical, to not only your own sanity, which is significant, but also the learning experiences of our students, right? We went from synchronous learning, everybody's in the room doing the same thing, to this mix, right, of asynchronous and synchronous, and we have to pay attention on that. In terms of being able to, when do we talk to kids and how do we check in with them? I think it's really helpful. Stand by at all times doesn't means no breaks, right? 24/7 on, and that's not sustainable. But thinking about something like office hours or scheduled check-in times, and I'll talk more about check-in times later, is very doable, right? And there's a lot of literature out there about how distance learning can actually build the social capital, the relationship capital, in a different way than you do when you have 15 or 20 students in your physical classroom on a regular basis. So we'll talk about that more as we go, but keep in mind the synchronous and the asynchronous learning; those are different things, but they both build towards teaching and learning in a way that is experiential, is progressive, is all of the things that are important to us.